let's take a look at the conflicting viewpoints passages. Now, in our other episodes, we talked about how generally in the science, you don't really have to read anything. It's all the charts and the graphs that are really important, and you don't have to worry about the paragraphs. On the conflicting viewpoints, however, you do have to read. Unfortunately, there actually aren't any charts or graphs, so you're stuck reading. That's all you've got. So in this episode, we're going to actually talk about some really good strategies for conflicting viewpoints so you can nail this section on test day. Let's recap and talk about what a conflicting viewpoints passage looks like. Well, you're going to have only one of them. So remember, you have your 3 data representation, your 3 research summary, and your 1 conflicting viewpoints, all mixed up together. You're going to have 7 questions on the conflicting viewpoints passage, so you really want to do well in this passage, because with this one passage, you can get 7 out of the 40 questions. And you're going to have 2 conflicting points of view on a general topic. You're going to have 2 scientists just fighting about something scientific. Let's take a look so you see what I mean. You're going to have a paragraph about scientist 1, who has some kind of opinion about something scientific, and then you're going to have scientist 2, who's always disagreeing. That's why it's conflicting viewpoints. And then you're going to have 7 questions. Some of them will ask only about scientist 1, some of them will ask about scientist 2, and some of them will ask you about both theories together. All right, let's take a look at some strategies for how to tackle this. Well, students often look at the conflicting viewpoints and they say, oh, okay, scientist 1, scientist 2, let me just read them both. Never do this. Let me tell you why. They have conflicting viewpoints, and there's a lot of scientific wording. What happens is you'll read scientist 1, then you'll read scientist 2, and you know what? You're thinking, oh my gosh, who said what? You get really confused. And the other thing is the ACT people think you're actually going to read them all together, scientist 1, scientist 2, and then head to the questions. And what happens is they put a lot of scientist 2's stuff as the tempting wrong answer choices for scientist 1, and vice versa, because they think, oh, it'll be fresh in your mind, you're not going to be sure, and you'll be really confused about who said what, and you'll pick the wrong answer. So, best strategy for conflicting viewpoints, first, read theory 1, just what scientist 1 has to say. Don't even look at scientist 2, and then head to the questions, and you'll skim really quickly and find which ones of them are only talking about scientist 1. You'll answer those questions, and then you're not going to be tripped up about those wrong answers that have to do with scientist 2, because you won't even know what scientist 2 has said. Then you'll read theory 2 and answer those questions, talking just about scientist 2. And last, you'll skip around and do what's left, which is going to be the questions that ask about both theories. When you're looking at the passage, what should you be looking for? Well, a couple of things. First of all, mark it up. Now, you don't have to be really compulsive about marking it up, but you want to look for a couple things. You're going to want to look at the first line of each of the passages, because you know what? That's usually, on a conflicting viewpoints passage especially, exactly when the scientist is going to tell you his or her point of view. What's the opinion? Is this person agreeing, disagreeing, promoting, discouraging? That'll usually be in the first sentence. And the last sentence will actually usually wrap it up. So keep an eye out for the first and last sentence when you're looking at each paragraph. Also, cause and effect relationships. The ACT loves to ask about these. So on the passage, when you see, one thing causing another thing, I would underline it or at least make a mental note. So these are some strategies. Let's head to an actual passage and we'll put them into practice. Here we have a real conflicting viewpoints passage. We've got scientist 1, and remember, scientist 2 comes next. We don't even care.